Speed is a stress response disguised as productivity. It looks like you're performing. It feels like you're in control, but underneath it, your body is running an emergency program that was never designed to last this long. You know what it's like. You're having a great week, ticking things off, staying on top of everything, feeling sharp. Then someone asks you a simple question. How are you actually doing? And you realize you just didn't know. You hadn't checked in weeks. You weren't burnt out, you were just gone, vacant, running so fast you'd left yourself behind. Now, if that sounds familiar, this video will change how you think about performance, because for most people, they believe that slowing down means falling behind. Now, today I'm going to show you 3 shifts that let you slow down and actually sharpen your edge in the process. And the 3rd shift, the one most people never consider, completely redefines what your edge actually is. Stay for that one. It changes everything. If you're here for the first time, welcome. My name's Nick. I'm a therapist, stress coach and trainer, and I work with overwhelmed professionals and leaders who are paying the cost for not managing their emotional and mental well-being. Every video in this channel is built around the idea that learning to manage your emotions will inevitably improve your life. To get yourself started, I've got a free stress relief cheat sheet linked in the description. It's a 5-step guide to help you manage stress better. Download it before you forget. Now, let's get into it. So here's where this starts. And I want you to be honest with yourself just for a second. Most high performers don't move fast because they're ambitious. They move fast because stillness feels dangerous. See, somewhere along the way, your nervous system learned that if you stop, something bad happens. You fall behind, you lose control. People notice that you're not coping, so you keep the pace up. Not because it's working, but because slowing down feels like a risk you cannot afford to take. But here's the thing nobody or very few people will tell you. Speed is a stress response disguised as productivity. It looks like you're performing. It feels like you're in control, but underneath it, your body is running an emergency program that was never designed to last this long. Think about your average morning. How many decisions have you already made before, let's say, 9 o'clock? What to wear, what to eat, how to respond to that message, which task to do first, whether to exercise or to skip it. Now, if you just kind of multiply that by every day in a single month, your brain hasn't stopped triaging since you opened your eyes. That's intense, and there's a cost to that. A real measurable cost that most people don't see until it's too late. But here's the good news, and this is the whole point of this video. What if slowing down didn't cost you your edge? What if it actually revealed an edge you didn't know you had? Now, that's not a nice idea. That's what the research shows, and it's what I see with clients every single week. Now, there are 3 specific shifts that make this work. They're not about doing less, they're about doing things differently, and once you see them, you can't unsee them. The 3rd one especially tends to land really hard because it asks you to rethink what your edge actually is. We'll get there, but let's start with the first. Shift 1 is this: separate speed from sharpness. You see, most people treat these as the same thing. Fast equals sharp, slow equals dull, but they're not the same thing at all. Speed is how fast you move. Sharpness is how clearly you think. And past a certain point, one actively undermines the other. See, I had a client, a senior leader, sharp as anything, who replied to a difficult email within 3 minutes of reading it. You know them, when you just go for it. Now, it felt productive, it felt decisive, but that email created a 2-week conflict that took multiple meetings to resolve. 3 minutes of speed, 10 hours of cleanup. Now, if she'd paused for 90 seconds, she'd have written a completely different message. That's not slow, that's sharp. And that's the cost I mentioned earlier. You see, speed doesn't just wear you out, it actively degrades the quality of your decisions. You're not saving time, you're borrowing it from your future self at a terrible interest rate. And research on decision fatigue supports this. The more rapid fire decisions you make without pause, the worse each subsequent decision gets. Not slightly worse, measurably worse. Your brain isn't a machine, it's a muscle you're using without rest days. So your decisions will become increasingly worse if you are not given an opportunity to rest and recover. In the same way, your muscles will fatigue and you risk injury if you don't give them time to rest and recover. Now, if that idea just clicked for you, speed and sharpness being different things, you'll want the cheat sheet I've put together. It's a 5-step guide to help you manage stress better. It's free and the link is in the description. Now let's get back to the video. Now, once you've separated speed from sharpness, the obvious next question is, okay, so how do I actually slow things down without everything falling apart? Now that leads us on to shift 2, which is about building friction on purpose. Now, I know that sounds completely backwards. Everything in productivity culture tells you to remove friction, to streamline, optimize, and automate. But here's the problem. When you remove all friction, you also remove all the natural pause points where your brain would normally catch up with your body. You end up in reactive mode, doing the next thing, not because it's the right thing, but because it's the nearest thing. So here's a really helpful trick that you can try for yourself. I call it the 2-breath rule. Before you reply to a message, take 2 breaths. Before you start the next task, take 2 breaths. Before you say yes to something, take 2 breaths. That's it. That's the whole technique. Take 2 breaths. About 6 seconds in total. Now, what you're doing in these 6 seconds is giving your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for good judgment, just enough time to come online before your autopilot takes over. You're not stopping. You're creating a gap between stimulus and response, and it's in that gap where your sharpness lives. Now, I know what you might be thinking, Nick, that sounds like an excuse to procrastinate. Well, it's not. You see, procrastination is avoidance. Deliberate friction is engagement. You're not running or turning away from the task. You're actually arriving at it more fully. You're choosing how to show up and engage. And there's a big difference. And here's what I've noticed with clients who try this for even a week. They don't slow down in any way that matters. They send fewer emails, but they send better ones. They make fewer decisions, but they make sharper ones. Their output stays the same or even goes up, but it costs them less. Okay, so this is the shift I mentioned at the start, the one that changes how we see everything else. And I want to encourage you to pay particular attention to this. You see, shift 3 is about redefining what your edge actually is. Because right now, most of you define your edge as output, how much you get done, how fast you move, how many things you can juggle at once. But that's not an edge, that's a pace. And paces don't last. Your real edge, the thing that actually makes you effective, respected, and hard to replace is clarity. It's the ability to see what matters when everyone else is reacting. It's staying calm in the meeting when things go sideways. It's making the call that everyone else is too busy to think through. That's not a slow person, that's the most valuable person in the room. And you can't get there if your nervous system is permanently set to go. You see, when my clients make these 3 simple shifts, something interesting happens. They don't just feel better, they perform better. Not because they're doing more, but because everything they do carries more weight. And that's the compounding effect of clarity. And it only comes when you slow down long enough to access it. And here's the part I really want you to hear and take away from this video. You don't have to wait until you burn out to make these changes. That's what most people do, sadly. They wait until their body forces them to stop. But by then, the damage is already done. The relationship's are frayed, the joy is drained out of their work, the edge they were trying to protect is already gone. But you can start now. You can start today. You don't have to wait until the damage has been done. So let me leave you with something specific. There are 3 shifts. Separate speed from sharpness. They're not the same thing. Build friction on purpose, 2 breaths before you react, and redefine your edge as clarity, not output. Now try the 2-breath rule for 1 day. That's it. 1 day, 6 seconds of pause before your next decision, and notice what changes, not in your productivity, but in the quality of your thinking and the clarity you gain. So how about it? What's one decision or moment this week where 2 breaths might have changed the outcome? Let me know in the comments. And if today's video resonated, give it a like and download the free stress relief cheat sheet using the link below. It's a 5-step guide to help you manage stress better, and it's a good place to start putting this into practice. I'll see you in the next one. Rooting for you. Be well. People who regularly suppress their emotions don't experience fewer negative emotions. They experience more. The suppression doesn't delete the emotion. It actually exaggerates it internally while masking it externally.